and we'll get ready to roll. So, all right, guys, so we're coming off of Super Saturday weekend, which was an awesome event. There were so many really, really great announcements that came out. So if you didn't get a chance to listen to the Super Saturday video, I believe it's now up in the back office that you can actually pull it and listen to it. And I'll share that into the team page. You can tag your coaches in there as well. But a couple of things just to get on your radar. Number one, the beach bars are launched and are out. And I really want you to think about, as Craig's going through his presentation today, how can you even use like the launch of the beach bars to build your business? I know for me, not only did we talk a little bit about sending out emails last week to our current customers and our current coaches, but I have even started interjecting that into my challenge groups, where when I'm talking about like meal planning and snack ideas, that's going in there. I do a product spotlight every single week in my challenge group. Last week was Energize. This week's going to be the beach bars. And I talk about it, right? When we get the beach bars, I'm going to do a little live in my challenge group with my kids eating them. So I'm really going to interject that into what I'm doing. So just think about, okay, how can I make that a part of what I'm already doing to help just sort of let that drive volume? And then I'm going to share something Alyssa shared with me about the beach bars, like a little challenge, and that could be something that you could do with your personally sponsored coaches as well. So I'll put that in there. The second thing is To Be Mindset. That is going to be launching on May 2nd, and we had Alana on our team call Monday. That's in the file section of our Dream Team page. So I'm going to send out an email to my downline just to say, hey guys, make sure you listen to this call. It's great education. The product training guides are in the Coach Online office. If you don't know anything about To Be Mindset, that's okay. There's a lot of stuff that you can start doing your research and start getting that out there to your list of people. I do actually really think this launch is going to be huge, and you are doing yourself a grave disservice if you don't lean into it and start to create a strategy. And like I said, you're not behind the eight ball. Start now. But I was thinking about this as I was getting dressed this morning and I was in the shower. I was like, it's almost like this is going to be a two-part launch. May 2nd, I'm going to call this, for me personally, it's like my soft launch. So I'm going to market it for the next couple of weeks. But we kind of have, if you're going on the Success Club trip, it kind of throws a wrench into things. And so I'm going to market it. But what I'm really going to do is I'll have a core group of people that'll start, with me on May 14th, which will be my start date. But then I'm going to use my story to really market a second sort of program, like a 30-day starting in the beginning of June. So that's kind of the way that I'm personally looking at it. And it's something you guys can kind of like lean into that as well. And then I'm not really talking about Lift 4 yet because it's so far off, but I'm going to write a blog post about it, and I'm going to just pin my images to Pinterest and, do like a little, Woofu application that if people want more information, at least I have it out there. But I haven't done it yet because it's not really a top priority because I can't really do much with it yet. So those are some of the things that in my mind that I'm starting to swirl around and think about. My most sort of immediate thing is beach bars and To Be Mindset, because that's big leverage. And then the last leverage point is just 80-day obsession. Many of you are finishing round 1. And so I'm using that. I'm using my own journey, my customer's journey, and I'm marketing my second round of 80-day obsession that I am doing. So I've kind of got all of these things that are sort of happening to kind of meet people where they're at. I've got people that have failed at 80-day obsession, that have failed at 21-day fix. They're going to really love my To Be Mindset option. I've got people that love fitness, that are diehard people that just love nutrition and working out. They're going to go into 80-day obsession. So I feel like I've got something for everybody. And that's the way that I'm kind of running things. So based on the announcements, that is kind of my strategy. And we will do a strategy call on To Be Mindset probably in the next couple of weeks. So you can just kind of stay tuned for that as well. All right. I think those are all of the announcements that I needed to go over. So today we have Craig Coyler. He is he's my corporate mentor at Team Beachbody, and he works with a lot of coaches in the network. And he was at the New Leader Conference in January and presented this this great presentation on just driving volume in your organization and driving your income. And I just really feel like it's something that not only if we embrace some of the strategic ways we look at our organization, like how many of you when you signed up as a coach were like, I don't know how to do this left, right. And then you were like, I don't know how to maximize my income. And you just sold challenge packs and you didn't really think anything more of it, right? And that was me. It took me a while to understand strategy. And so where you're at in your business is, all right, how do we maximize and literally wring every single piece of volume out of our businesses so we are making, the most money that we can make, and we're just strategic and smart about it. And that's really what I like about Craig's presentation, is he's going to teach you just those things. All right. So with that being said, Craig, I will turn it over to you. You can give him a little intro and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Melanie. Before I do though, will you give me just a quick scope about who this group is?
Sure. So this is our Rising Stars. We have a Wednesday morning 9 a.m. call every week, and they are all diamond and above coaches. Some are brand new diamonds, some are star diamonds, some are elite, premier. You've got like every scope of diamond and above in here.
Okay, great. But what we are talking to diamonds and above, so Absolutely. There is, all right,
yep.
the basic level of competency in our compensation plan model. Okay.
Yes, you are.
I saw the Rising Stars, and I'm like, are those like new Rising Stars? Or
yeah.
where
Yep.
we're at? And then I saw coffee and conversations, and I was like, oh, well, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is fun. This is my favorite call every week because they are just a blast to hang out with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, you guys, it is a privilege and pleasure for me to be on this call this morning. I always feel it an honor to be able to speak to coaches, because I want you guys to know how much we at corporate appreciate what you do. You guys are the front lines. You guys are what move the mission and the vision of this company forward. At corporate, we have the responsibility to produce content and programs and ship products and take phone calls and, make t-shirts and, and stuff like that. But what you guys do is what really matters. It's what moves this business forward. And I just want you to know how much all of us here at corporate, from our coach development team office, we serve under Jeff Hill, our president of coach development, on his behalf, Michael Neiman, Carl Deichler, all of the employees at corporate. We just honor and appreciate what you guys do as coaches to move this forward. And we feel on our end extremely blessed to be part of a company that does so much good, where we have an opportunity to not just share great products, high quality fitness programs, highly engineered, effective, valuable, consumable products, but more than anything, be able to invest in ourselves, in our greatest asset, that is ourselves. We are our greatest asset. And Beachbody is such a vehicle to be able to invest in yourself, transform yourself outside and inside, and create that confidence that helps you to help other people. And we just feel, so honored to be a part of that mission, and hope that you do too, and hope that that we believe in you and believe in your potential. We believe in the potential of this company to do great things, to make a difference in the world, and just excited to be a part of it. Before I dive into all the nitty gritty, on the comp plan and volume, and I'll get very technical here in just a minute. And Melanie knows I'm an emerald, so I love the numbers. But while I'm preaching, it was, Super Saturday. If you guys had an opportunity to attend, or if you haven't caught that video, catch the video. Yes, there are amazing announcements. I've never seen a greater lineup of launches in the company than I have right now, at least in the 3 years that I've been here. Never have we had beach bars, 2B Mindset, Lift, all these great launches to propel us forward, all like stacked together. It's awesome. But the part of the Super Saturday video that gets me the most, and it gets me the most every Super Saturday, was the success story. And if you guys caught it, it was a coach by the name of Brittany Crosby. I don't know Brittany. I think she's from the Northeast. Someone told me, so I should know her, or I'll get to know her. But she had such an incredible story. And as she met a friend that eventually became her coach, and she was watching this friend, there was something that she said in the Super Saturday video that was just like, like hit me like right between the eyes. And she said, I wrote it down on my phone as I was during the thing. She said, what I saw in my coach is that she was finding joy in every aspect of her life. And that's what drew her to Beachbody. Like, yes, her coach was getting abs and, and getting fit and looking good. But what attracted Brittany to her coach is that she noticed this friend of hers was finding joy in every aspect of her life, and that was coming through this medium of investing in herself and exercise and becoming more mentally strong and in personal development, all of these things. And and it was that. And then in Brittany, if you saw the video, she wound up last year battling cancer. And she said, if it weren't for Beachbody, kind of a thing. And while the abs that she got were great, her greatest transformation, she says, the biggest transformation for me was my confidence. And that confidence is what pushed me through and helped me defeat this disease that was that had taken over my body. It was so powerful, and it was a reminder to me that even though a lot of times we get really caught up in the milestones, the accolades, sometimes in the day-to-day tactics, which of course have to be done. This is work. This is you don't get something for nothing. But what drives this thing and what really attracts people to this thing is the meaning that you find in it and the investment that you put in yourself to find that joy and to feel the way that you want to feel, and then exemplify that to other people. That's what drives and attracts in this business. So anyway, don't forget that, you guys. That is the most important thing, and it is upon that foundation that we even have a business opportunity with Beachbody. And that's what I love about this company. I've been in the industry for going on 19 years now. May of 1999, I was hired at my first network marketing company. Yes, I'm old. And I've seen a lot of companies come and go, and this one, you guys, I'm telling you, it's special because of this mission and the way that we change ourselves. And then the way that we coach people, we help people to change themselves. And in that process, there's a business, opportunity. And so I'm going to talk about driving volume to drive your income. All right. There's a lot of different ways to make money in the Beachbody compensation plan. And of course, when you come into the business and when you bring a new coach into the business, the first thing that we explain to them and initially your initial income comes from transactions, right? From just making a sale. You sell a challenge pack, you make a $50 commission. You have someone start on Shakeology HD as a customer and you get a $32 commission for that, right? Those are what I call sales commissions. It's a commission generated when a sale is made. Okay. What I want to talk to you guys today about is our team cycle bonuses, or the commission plan that is driven by organizational volume. Okay. That means all of the volume that the coaches that you enroll in the business and the sales that those coaches make, okay, produce what's called team volume in our compensation model. All right. And that team volume, again, that means anything that your coaches purchase themselves or anything that your coaches sell to a customer. And guess what? It's not just your personal coaches. It's the coaches that your coaches enroll and the coaches that your coaches enroll, and on through the line through, guess what? As many levels deep of coaches and enroll coaches and enroll coaches and enroll coaches and enroll coaches, right? That all counts in your team volume. And what Beachbody does is puts those, as you well know, on two different legs. You have a left leg and a right leg, and we're going to talk about, what that means. But when we talk about team volume, you guys, that's what we're talking about, is your organization where you really begin to make powerful income at Beachbody is not in just making lots of sales transactions, Okay, I love all you SC10 people. I love if you're some of you might even be SC20, and we have people in the company doing crazy SC numbers. But where you really begin to make strong residual income in this business model is when you develop an organization of coaches, many generations deep, that are sharing and selling the products. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We're going to talk about it. Yes, Alyssa, that is so amazing. Okay, geez, I've got like so many screens open right now. All right, so a lot of times we call the volume or team volume just volume, or when you look in your back office, a lot of times you'll see PV or personal volume. That's the volume that you purchase or that your customers purchase. That is your PV. All right. You're not paid on PV. PV just keeps you in qualification as an active coach, or if you need to have a 90 PV HD to be Success Club qualified, to hit Diamond, you need to have 100 PV, etc. That's kind of your qualification volume. Your team volume is the volume that we look at to calculate team cycle bonuses, right? And so a lot of times you might hear leaders in the company, and Melanie refers to it as, hey, we're driving volume. We have a new product, beach bars, to drive volume. What we're talking about is how it drives your team volume or the TB in your organization. Okay, and so I'll be quick on this, but I like to really make sure people know what is volume, what produces it. And I kind of mentioned this already. Volume is generated by the sales of the coaches in your left and right legs in your entire organization, right? And what happens is that volume, all right, is separated, and the more volume you put in your volume bucket. I like to think of all the volume in your organization is going into this volume bucket, okay? And it's not just when I brought props today, guys. Anytime there's a Shakeology that's purchased from your coaches and anyone in your organization, boom, you put it in that volume bucket, all right? That's 90 TV that would go into your volume bucket. Okay, I've got my box of beach bars here, right? Everyone in the organization should be buying beach bars, right? Awesome opportunity here. These are 16 TV, and anytime anyone in your downline, coaches in your downline or their customers buy beach bars, boom, you would put that in your volume bucket, all right? This morning, I'm pounding my Beachbody Recover here. Man, I love this stuff. I do my 80-day obsession, take my Recover. Anytime anyone in your organization purchases Recover, boom, it goes into your volume bucket, all right? And you guys get it. If you sell a Power Greens, because people like me don't like vegetables, so I put Power Greens in my Shakeology. Anytime there's a purchase of that goes anywhere in your organization, goes into your volume bucket. Okay, you guys get the idea. So the idea, the concept is that you want as much volume in your volume bucket as possible, right? And again, it's not just Shakeology, it's not just challenge packs. We've got a lineup of diverse lineup of products that can all go into that volume bucket. Okay, so as your volume bucket grows, Team Beachbody has this compensation model, our team cycle bonus, where when you have a minimum of 100 TV in one leg, it doesn't have to be your left. I'm just giving you an example here, but when you have a minimum of 100 TV in one leg and a minimum of 200 TV in another leg, you produce a team cycle bonus. All right. So if you look at that together, because again, if you're looking at the volume bucket and I need 100 on one leg and 200 on the other leg as a minimum to create a cycle bonus, that means 300 TV total that I would need to create one cycle bonus. Okay, how much do you earn on a cycle bonus? I'm glad this is a diamond and above group, because as diamonds and above, every time this phenomenon happens in your business, you earn $18 for every cycle that is generated. And Beachbody is running these cycles every single day. It's looking at how much volume you have on your left leg and on your right leg. And when there's a minimum of 100 and a minimum of 200, boom, Beachbody generates a commission for you. Okay, so let's look at this example here. If you were to have 400 TV on one leg, in this example, I put a 400 TV on the left leg, and you had 1,800 TV on your right leg, all right? you would produce 4 cycle bonuses and earn $72 because that's 18 times 4 equals 72, right? This is kind of the way that the computer would break it down, all right? It would look at your left leg and take that 400 volume, and it would subtract 100 from that side, and it would subtract 200 from your strong leg side. And then it would look at the balance, right? So if you go to the top of this, example here on the screen, I subtracted 100 and that left me with 300 on my left leg, and I subtracted 200 from my right leg, it left me with 1600. I was still able to cycle. So I subtracted another 100, another 200, and it continues to do that until there's less than 100 on one leg and less than 200 on the other leg. Okay, now an interesting thing happened in this example that I'm showing you here. All right, we were able to produce 4 team cycle bonuses because we had 400 on the weak leg. So it subtracted 100, 100, 100, 100, and there was 0 volume left over on that left leg. Okay, in this example, that left leg would also be known as your weak leg because there was less TV on that side. Okay, on the right leg though, we subtracted 200, 200, 200, 200, and how much volume was left over? 1,000. There was 1,000 TV that was left over. We couldn't cycle through all the volume on your right leg. So what happens to that volume? It carries over to the next bonus week, and you start next week's cycling with whatever is carried over from the previous week. So in this example here, you'll see that this coach would start the next week with 1,000 TV already on his or her right leg. And this is a very cool concept at Beachbody known as carryover volume. Okay? All right. So here's where when people say, how can I maximize the compensation plan? I'm always like, put more volume in it. All right. So if you were to remember like one thing from my presentation, it's probably this slide. It's like, hey, want to increase your team cycle bonuses? Create more volume. More volume equals more income. Very simple. All right. I want to tell you where to track this in your Coach Online office, because a lot of times, again, we get selling challenge packs, running challenge groups, and sometimes we're not paying attention to what's going on in our volume. So when you start to track things, you start to be like, oh, okay, I can impact that now. You need to track to impact. So where do you track? Right? Let's go into the Coach Online office, and in your main dashboard there, it's got your profile, your team, Success Club. There's a thing there called volume, right? When you click on volume, it's going to give you this slide here and show you where you're at with volume. It will show you your carryover volume from the prior week by leg. It will show you your current week team volume by leg, and then the total team volume by leg, because it's going to take your current plus your carryover, add them together. That becomes the total volume you have on each leg that will be cycled or can be cycled during that bonus week. Okay, so if you look no other place, all right, at least look at this tab here and know where you're at. Okay, but I'm going to show you a couple other tabs to go to. When you click on Monitor My Business, there are 2 other places where you can look at your team volume. Okay, one is in the link that is cleverly named Team Volume. All right, you click on that, and what this one does is that one will actually show you your total PV as well, so you can know that you have enough PV to stay active as a coach or to stay in diamond qualification, or if you're a star diamond, you need to have 200 PV in there. So you're monitoring that PV, and then it shows you by bonus week how much volume you produced in each leg, and you can click on those numbers and see exactly who purchased product and what products they purchased to create that volume. And sometimes it's good to know, who's doing that. You can see who's really driving volume on your team. Okay. Finally, there's this other tab here called called carryover volume. All right, I'm not going to go into that one in this training because there's quite a few columns here, as you can see. They're not complicated. It's just math. So if you go column by column and look at the math, you'll see that it shows your current volume, and then it shows what your carryover volume was, and then what your total is. But the cool thing about this tab that I recommend that you go in and kind of just become familiar with it is it will show you kind of day by day how you're cycling. All right. It also gives you a very good idea of how much volume you truly have that is available for you to cycle. There are many of you, not everyone, but many coaches at Beachbody have carryover volume that they didn't even know that they had. And if they were to continue to build or put more focus on building that weak leg, they could leverage or maximize that carryover volume that they have on the other leg in order to cycle more. And so knowing how much volume you have on each leg is ideal, okay, if you want to grow your residual income. Okay, let's go to the next one here. So I want to talk about creating an income goal. All right. And this is specifically to a team cycle bonus income goal. So you can look at how much money you're going to make in sales, like, hey, I want to make X number, in challenge pack bonuses, and I've got X number maybe of customers that are on HD. So I'm getting, the $32 commission from them. But what do I want for my team cycle bonus income goal? All right. And I'm going to give you an example of how you would reverse engineer a goal of $1,000 in cycle bonuses. Okay, maybe this is your monthly goal. Maybe this is your weekly goal. Doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to reverse engineer $1,000. And then if your initial goal is half of that, you can half these numbers. If your initial goal is double this, then double these numbers. If it's 10 times this, then 10 times the numbers. But I'll teach you here how to do it with $1,000, and then you can do the math from there. Okay, so this is how I look at when we set income goals with my coaches. This is how we break it down in terms of the team cycle bonus. Okay, so my goal is $1,000 in team cycle bonuses. All right, in order to do that, I need to figure out how many cycles I'll need. Well, I know that if I get $18 a cycle, right, I divide $1,000 by $18, and I know that I'm going to need 56 total cycles to do that. Okay, so how do I generate 56 total cycles? How much volume do I need? Well, if I need 56 cycles and I know that it takes 300 in total team volume, 100 from one side, 200 from the other side, right? So I need a total of 300 in TV. It means that I will need a total team volume of 16,800. All right, in order to put a minimum of that amount of volume to get to 56 cycles. All right. Again, maybe this is monthly, maybe this is weekly, but that's kind of that target volume number. And I'm going to explain why it's important to know the total number and not just a week leg number here in a second. Okay. All right. If you were to look at this by just the minimum amount on your week leg in order to get 56 cycles, then we know that, okay, it takes at least 100 TV in order to cycle. So if I need to cycle 56 times, I times 56 by 100, and that's 5,600. So I would need a minimum of that 16,800 total TV. A minimum of that would need to be 5,600 on my weak leg. Does that make sense? Can I get like some thumbs up, head nods, something? All right, thank you, Karen. Karen, you were like jogging a second ago. Thanks for coming to the screen. Phil, cool. All right, so that would be the minimum on that. All right. Now, I wish I had it in this presentation, but I don't. So I'm just going to talk you through it. But I think you guys can handle it. All right. So this example shows the minimum if you had a whole bunch of strong leg volume. Like if you were to look at that carryover report and you're like, man, I've got all this carryover volume, I've got a huge amount of strong leg volume, then your goal would be to get up to 5,600 in TV on your weak leg. Okay. Let's say that you have very balanced volume. We call it a 1-to-1 ratio volume. So if you look at your right leg and your left leg, and there's less than double the amount of volume on one or the other, like you're closer to a 1-to-1 ratio. This is where this 16,800 TV comes into play. Okay. So if you have balanced volume on each leg, simply take 16,800, divide it in half, and which is, I should have done my math on this, what, 8,400, 8,400 is what you would need on each leg in order to produce 56 cycles. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So if your strong leg is more than double your weak leg, and I want to be very clear here, it doesn't matter what leg your coach put you on or whatever. That doesn't have anything to do with your weak leg or strong leg. Sometimes coaches think, oh, my strong leg is the one my coach put me on or whatever. Doesn't matter. You need to look at your organization, and whatever leg has more volume, that's your strong leg. Whatever leg has less volume, that's your weak leg. Okay? So look at that, and if your strong leg is more than double your weak leg, then you would try to calculate this goal based on the example on the screen. Like, I need to get a minimum of X amount in volume on my weak leg. If your right leg and left leg it's less than double the other leg, then you're closer to a 1-to-1 ratio, and you can build both legs equally. And that is where you'd look at what's the total amount of volume that I need and divide it in half. I hope that's clear. If not, message me later and we can talk through it. Okay? That's how you would reverse engineer your income goal. It really comes down to how much do you want to earn, divide that by $18 per cycle, figure out how many cycles you need, and then look at, okay, how much volume on each leg do I need to get? What's up, Matt? Jeez, come over. Can I get a more aggressive kiss there? That was weak sauce.
If you really want to see it.
Come on, Matt.
Yeah.
Fuck her up. All right. Okay. Great. So that's the formula, you guys. And again, if you want to make, $2,000, then multiply all those numbers by 2 that we just went over. If you want to make $10,000 in team cycle bonuses, multiply them by 10, or whatever your income goal is. Write down that amount, divide it by 18, figure out how many cycles you need, and then times that by 300 and see, where that volume needs to be allocated. Okay? So, Melanie, how much time do I have? Should I stop there, or should I? I've got a few other points, but
you can keep going. You're good. We have we're done at 10 o'clock. So if you want to do even 10 more minutes, if you have more to go.
Yeah. I've got like 6 or 7 more minutes.
Perfect. And then I just want them to put any questions they have in the comments, and then we can filter through that.
Okay.
So cool. That's perfect.
Recover, drink it. Okay. All right. How do I add more volume? You drink Shakeology and recover is one thing. If all your coaches did that, that would increase the volume in your volume bucket. Okay. So I want to give you, I think I have 5 tips. It's 4 or 5. We'll see. Should have looked at this beforehand. It's been a few weeks since I taught this. Anyway, so how do I add more volume into my volume bucket? Okay. This is the most obvious. I can add coaches and customers into my organization. All right. And that's why we focus on Success Club a lot, you guys, is because we know that new blood is the lifeblood of your organization. And if you want to grow your volume, you have to add more coaches and customers. All right. I hope you've learned through this presentation that it isn't just about the number of coaches that you bring in, but it's about helping those coaches bring in coaches, and then helping those coaches bring in coaches. The true power of our compensation plan comes again when you have many generations of coaches that are coaching. That's when this business really becomes powerful. All right. So you want to add coaches and customers. That's one way to increase the volume in your volume bucket. All right. But there's a inherent problem with the volume bucket, and we're all familiar with it. It's that darn volume bucket has a crack in it. All right, or a little a hole. All right. Sometimes that hole is big, but what we want is to make that hole small. And trust me, again, like every customer-based business in the world, I don't care what industry you're in, there's a hole in their volume bucket too, because there's always going to be customers or people falling off. There's always going to be cancellations. You're always going to have people that cancel. It's okay. Every business in the world does. Netflix has cancellations. Amazon gets cancellations. Like, it's okay. All right. But what we want to make sure we do is that we want the hole in our bucket to be as small as possible. So how do we do that? We try to increase retention. All right. How can we increase retention? That's a topic for a whole other call, but a lot of it has to do with the value that you're adding to your team, to your groups or your challenge groups. Are they engaged? Are they invested? Are we providing support, training, motivation, or, understanding, creating the right expectations? We could do a whole other training on increasing retention, but I want you to understand that this business isn't just about adding, because if you're adding coaches and customers, but they're going out equally fast, you have net gained nothing, right? If you bring in 10, but 10 fall off, you're in the same place. So you've got to focus on bringing in and losing as few as possible, even though you'll always lose some, okay? Increase retention. That's point number 2, to add more volume to your volume bucket, okay? Point number 3, introduce more products to existing customers. One of the things we've been guilty of a little bit at Beachbody, and it's because, this product here is just so doggone awesome, and it's our flagship product, and it's part of the formula to get results. We have fitness, we have Shakeology, we have peer support, and it's the most common HD product. Like, it's our moneymaker, right? But we also have all these other awesome products that we can pair with it. And I want some Energize, right? Okay. I'm going to come over here. Boom. I take my daily Activit. Okay. All of these products can also be thrown into the volume bucket from your existing customer base. How much are we marketing to our existing coaches and our existing customer base? Do they have an understanding of the value of the other products they have? Have we talked about the benefits of Energize? One of the things that I've loved about 80-Day Obsession is that we actually work the performance line right into the plan. And where I used to just buy Shakeology for my family, and then I would take Energize or some of the others at work, when my wife started doing 80-Day Obsession, all of a sudden I had to buy Recover, I had to buy Recharge, I had to buy Energize. I was like, my employee order form was getting full of these other products. Because they're great. She used them and they're great, and and now our monthly consumption of products is bigger. And so adding incremental volume to your existing customer base is great. And I'm not talking about trying to trick people into it. These are great products that people can get high value of. What I love about the beach bars is most people are spending money on snacks already. Whether it's a bar snack or another kind of snack, most households are already allotting part of their monthly budget to feeding themselves snacks or feeding their kids snacks. So why not just replace what they're already spending in snack money towards a better snack? So these are 16 TV, which is about 20% of the TV of a bag of Shakeology. So if every coach or every customer you had was getting Shakeology, plus they were getting a box of bars, you just increase your organizational volume by 20% just by doing that. Does that make sense? All right, I think I beat that one to death. You guys get it. Okay. This concept here, volume strong coaches. All right. I think you guys have heard this one before. This is the building instead of 90, having every coach, this classic diamond structure where everyone just has the minimum amount of volume that they're purchasing. What if your diamond structure looked like this? Everyone had 500 in volume because they were either buying additional products themselves or they were selling a few products to customers. Even if you have a coach that doesn't want to coach, a discount coach or whatever, ask them if they'll be an advocate. Will you be an advocate of, and just advocate what you like about this product? If you were to have 2 or 3 people that also consumed it, you could pay for your monthly, consumption, right? But if we were to turn these coaches all into 500-ish PV coaches, look at what that does to your volume. you went from what was the previous amount of volume in a classic diamond structure. If we have 90 from each coach in the structure, it produced a total TV of 1,080, 3 cycles, $54. If we turn that into 500, you've got 6,000 total TV or 360 in commissions, right? You guys have seen this example before, most likely, so I'll leave that one there, okay? And then finally, and this one is long-term, right? Which is fine because this is a long-term business, right? This business, you're not going to create the financial stability and potentially wealth that this plan can provide overnight. You might not do it in a year. You might not do it in 2 years. It might take 3 or 4 or 5 years. All right. You look at the potential of this plan, and even if it were to take you 5 years to build, to get to that income that is possible here, like think about your current, employment perhaps, and be like, hey, in 5 years, could I be earning X amount in 5 years at that job, or is there greater potential here? One of the things that really drives volume in a plan, we say that diamonds drive rank. Like you have to have diamonds to increase your rank, and that is true, and that will help put volume in your organization. But what really drives income is you becoming a star diamond and then developing star diamonds in your organization. If that is your long-term goal, you will see incredible growth in income. I want to give you the example of Moira Kusaba. All right. She's a coach I work with out of Charleston, South Carolina. In 2016, she was a 5-star diamond. She was an elite coach that year. And you can see that she was doing, she did pretty well in 2016. This is in weekly cycle bonuses. She was doing about 1,000 a week in team cycle bonuses. Finished 2016, $1,369 in weekly cycle bonuses. That's pretty good income. That's solid, right? She was doing well. That was as a 5-star diamond elite coach. All right. In 2017, it was Moira's opportunity to work with those coaches and begin to develop star diamond coaches. She developed many star diamond coaches on her team. I don't remember the exact amount off the top of my head now, but you can see what began to happen to her weekly cycle bonus amounts as she built those star diamonds, to where by the end of 2017, all right, she went from about 1,400 a week in team cycle bonuses to 4,200 a week in team cycle bonuses. A significant increase in weekly residual income based on really building a solid organization of star diamond level coaches. All right. So that's the long-term goal, you guys. Again, that might, many of you on here are like, trying to get myself to star diamond. How am I going to get others? It's okay. All right. You get star diamond first. All right. And that might be a 3-year plan for you. If it took you 3 to 4 or 5 years to be making $4,200 a week, would it be worth it? I think it would. All right. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that.
Perfect.
Well, I can stick around for a few more minutes and answer questions or whatever you want to do, but
Sure.
I hope that was what y'all were looking for.
That was perfect. So guys, if you've got some follow-up questions or even some thoughts, will you just dump them into the chat bar and we can answer them? But one of the things, and you actually said it right at the end of your call, and I was like, oh, I know that people are thinking I'm a diamond and I'm kind of maybe a struggling diamond, or I don't even have any working coaches yet. Like, you want me to do what? Like, you want me to mentor these people to star diamond? So just like, one piece of advice to that, that really sort of backs that up is like, hey, this doesn't mean you just start working with the people that are showing some interest. You really do kind of what we've set up all along, and talking about who are your runners, your walkers, your joggers in your business. And yes, you're going to work with your runners, but part of this is really getting good at presenting the business opportunity and really sharing your passion for the products and the transformation stories we're creating and what this business is doing for your mindset and your body and your relationships. And so, that's kind of like the how part of it. Like, how do we actually get to where this volume starts to churn is we get really good at sharing our story through social media. We get really good at being confident at saying like, oh my gosh, guys, this business opportunity is changing my life, because we can't grow that volume bucket unless we have new people coming in. And so, there's kind of two parts. It's like mentoring the people that are running with you, but also bringing in new people every single month, and then strategically figuring out where you want to place them. And one of the things that I sort of like, that I sort of talked at like start at the beginning, Craig, was when you're telling the story about the success story from Super Saturday. And I was like, oh, she's finding joy in every area of her life. And I'm like, okay, when was the last time you guys just talked about the sheer joy of the fact that you get to be a coach, and you talked about that part of the business? Like, when you scroll your news feed, do people know that there is an opportunity that makes you really happy, that gives you great friendships and relationships? I think we get so stuck in this fact that I'm not where I want to be, or I haven't gotten to the rank or the income or money, and so I can't talk about it. But guys, people are just drawn to the fact that there's something positive that you can do for a job, and so I think you like discount that part of it and don't realize how powerful that tool can actually be. So that, and then the other thing that I actually highlighted on my paper was, number one was retention. But then what are you, when you're looking at this, like what are the immediate things you could hang up this call and do? So I think, oh my gosh, have you guys sent emails out about the beach bars? Have you gone to your downline and gone into your team page? Have you talked about that? Are you talking about, all the different ways as people are doing your challenge groups, like 3-day refresh and, like those things are volume opportunities. And we get very focused on challenge packs, which are great, but you also have to think about all the other little ways that every little piece in that bucket is going to help. And then think about 2B mindset. Sure, everybody can just buy the completion pack, but sell the challenge pack. Like, go for the big one. That's really where it's going to make the biggest difference in that bucket for your bottom line. So those are just some of the things that I kind of thought about as I was listening. So questions that you guys have, or any other thoughts? I know numbers make them go crazy. Some like it, some don't. Kendra, I've got to increase my weak leg. And Kendra, I will say, for those of you that are like the red personalities, or that are really driven by like a goal, I know for me, when I know that there is money sitting there that I'm not maximizing, it actually makes me want to like recruit and drive it and do more and put myself out there more, because I just know that it's like instantaneous income that could be in my pocket. And so, use that to drive you. Make it a goal. Say to yourself, this is how I'm going to change that, and then start creating a strategy. And then as you do it, you can teach it to your downline too. So, yeah. All right. I don't see anybody else asking questions. I think they're all kind of absorbing it, but I think that this is perfect. Craig, we do what we call maximizing your income group, like a training group that's 30 days long. And this is kind of perfect because they've all gone through that. And now this kind of gives that higher level. So it's really impactful. So thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Good. It's my pleasure, guys. Have a great day.
All right. I will see you guys later. I'll get this recording posted. Thanks, Craig, for being on today. And I'll get this up, and then we'll just maybe have a discussion in our group page about what we can do to kind of drive some of that number. And if there's anything strategic you need help with, let us know. So have a great day, and I will see you all later. Bye, everybody.